Hi, this is the Navexa Monthly update for May. I'm Tom, Head of Customer Success, and we've had a very big year so far. April, we launched the brand new version of the platform, which a lot of you have given fantastic feedback about, and any other feedback in terms of bugs or any other improvements have been coming through. And we've made a number of improvements behind the scenes in order to make things run even more fluid and a bit simpler than they already were. So we really appreciate the kind feedback and a lot of the positive feedback that we've gotten as well. So hopefully it's much easier to use, and we're still keeping in mind all the feedback that you're giving, and it's helping us in order to make the best platform possible. So going forward, there's a lot of big things in the pipeline. There's some that I can't share at the moment. There's some that are still we're working on in terms of AI importer. It's getting to the stage where we've got the ability and we're testing internally a drag and drop type thing where it doesn't even have to know who the broker is. So it's a matter of, if you've got a file, it's smart enough to read it and then to actually complete the data inside your portfolio or your platform. What we'll do is we'll try and make this monthly update a bit more practical, because tax time is coming up, the end of financial year for us in Australia here. 30 June is fast approaching, and our goal is to try and make this as simple as possible for every Australian investor, and also to ensure that we've got a lot of support documentation and even more videos for you to watch. So I'm going to take you through just an example of how to get tax ready, and it's a tax overview page that we've got inside our tax reporting feature for Australian clients, and you have to have the portfolio with the base currency of AUD. So it'll only work in those instances if you're an Australian client and you've got AUD as the base portfolio. If you go over to the left here under tax reporting, you'll see overview. If I click on this, I'll just make sure I've got the right year set, because I'm going to look at the 23-24, and this is a good example where I haven't done this yet and there's a lot of things that are outstanding. So I shouldn't get too alarmed, because we can go through and fix most of them. But a lot of users, particularly new ones that come to Navexa, they'll see some of these, prompts to try and get them to complete something, particularly the EMIT statements or the EMA statements. And what they are is when you've got an ETF that has distributions that are trust income, they're classified as trust income, you've actually got to fill in an extra form that you get given after the end of the financial year, and it's that EMIT statement. So the ETF manager gives it to you because throughout the year they'll pay you the dividends, but they need to actually look at when the year is done and dusted, just to go through and make any corrections. And then it's up to you to make sure that those corrections are put onto your investments or onto your portfolio. And that's what we do. We help with that exact thing. So that's just one part of the puzzle, but you can see here on my screen, I've got 37 issues that need resolving. Now, I won't get too alarmed because I assume most of those are just dividends or distributions. What I could do is I can click Get Tax Ready, or I could go through the tax readiness area here and just make sure that I tackle where the problems actually are. So I can see that my staking rewards, my trades look fine. My holdings that says fixed to, I'm going to click on that. And yeah, that's exactly right. I've got negative balances, and what that means is that I haven't probably put a trade in. I'm missing maybe the opening trade. So if I was to click on fix, it'll take me to the holding, which is fantastic. And it takes me to the trades tab. This one is saying that I've got a negative quantity. Some buy history may be missing, and it's spot on, because when I bought this holding, I actually got the opening trade through a share registry, so like a secondary offer or a raising. And CommSec, the broker, they don't have history of that. They don't actually provide that to Navexa because they themselves don't have it. So what I would need to do is actually go and find those documents and enter in my opening trade here, and that would fix this negative quantity because it's got the full picture, the full story then. So that's an easy fix. I'll just click add trade if I needed to, but what I'll do is I might do that a bit later. I'm going to go back to the tax readiness page here, and I can see that I've got the dividends. There's 23 to resolve. Now, what this usually means is that they're not confirmed. So when you confirm a dividend inside Navexa, it's basically saying that you've gone through it, you've checked it, and you've locked it into place. So no other changes can affect that figure. So as an example, with BHP, I could click on edit dividend. I could run through and say, yep, that looks correct. I remember that. I've got my documents here. I can match it. I'm going to click save. And when I save it, what actually happens is it removes it here from this to-do list. I know the other one is fine because I did check it. I'm going to click confirm. And I know when I was looking at my AFI before, I know all of those are fine. So I'm going to click confirm all, and it's just confirmed them here at the bottom right. If I'm 100% certain, I could go through and click the blue confirm all, or the confirm all for each holding, or each individual dividend as well. And then that would remove that warning for me. And I'd know that my dividends are all confirmed and locked into place. So the next thing down here is the EMIT, the trust income. And it's telling me here that I've actually got one holding that needs EMIT data. It's saying it's the IVV ETF, and it looks like it's the 20. So I've actually got a few years here. It's saying I've got 3 years worth to fix. So I'm going to click fix, and it takes me to the income tab of the holding in question. Now I can see that I've actually fixed up the EMIT statements for 24-25, and I've even done the 23-24. But if I had to update it, I can always click update statement here. And this is where I can get caught out, because if I didn't know that I had to be completing these EMIT statements, it means that I haven't been doing them. And so you can see here, Navexa is saying you need to enter those details. So the form that I get from either the share registry or the ETF manager, it'll explicitly tell me what I need to do. So let's say they've got the one on hand for the 22-23 year. I would come up and click enter statement. Got one of three choices. I can enter it manually, so go through and type it in. I can import from PDF, so I can actually upload, drag and drop the EMIT statement, the PDF, directly into this section here. And the AI will go through and grab all of the important pieces and fill it for you. And that's something that it does work quite well. There are a couple of edge cases with certain brokers, particularly managed portfolios, sometimes Vanguard. They don't really break down the split between all of the different ETFs that are inside a portfolio. But we're working on making that much more streamlined, and it's a focus for us here, particularly going into this tax time. I'll go back because I could also click mark as not required, which means that I don't actually need to enter one. I'm not going to do that because I definitely do. I'm going to enter it manually, and I've got my form here, and I'll go through and I'll read each of these different tax return references here. And I do know that I had $30 worth of frank distributions from trusts, because that's the net amount there for the entire year. And you can see these are the 4 distributions that I received throughout the year. And when I put in the 30 for my franked distributions from trusts, it goes through and apportions that across each of the 4 distributions for me. And then you get the total there of 30 at the end. The other thing too is if I had any, increases or shortfalls, interest, I can enter them here. But basically all these figures are coming off that one PDF document, the EMIT statement, for this holding only. Now I'm going to click save, and what it's done for the 22-23 year, it's changed this, that it's complete. I can go in and update if I needed to. And if I was to go into one of these confirmed distributions and click edit, I can actually scroll down and I can see that a lot of the details that I had, like franked amounts, they've actually now been applied to the individual distributions or dividends. I do have 2 more, but I won't go through those ones in this video. However, in real life, I need to do that and get that completed. I'm going to go back to the tax readiness, and you can see at the top, I'm 80% ready. And what I would obviously do is then go through and complete all the other warnings so that I can get my tax ready so I can be shared with my accountant. And the reports that you're going to want to look at are the ATO My Tax here, which obviously have all the different references again here that match the actual tax returns itself. I can share this, I can export it as an Excel or a PDF and send it to my accountant. I've also got the capital gains tax that tells me, just got to double check that I've got the right tax year there. You can see here that it's actually broken down the short-term, long-term discounted capital gain distributions, which is what we got from when we entered that EMIT statement. And it's also capital losses, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how it's looking for this year. In this case, it breaks it down further and it's given me the capital gain here of 6472, and I can share this with my accountant too, so I'd want to share that one. If I go back to tax overview again, I'll just make sure I change this tax year because it's something I might have to fix there. I got the taxable income, and that's another one that I want to share with the accountant. Now, there's also the tax planning, and depending on what plan you're on, you may not see this particular option, but portfolio valuation shows you at the time of the year how much something is worth, and you've got the unrealized gains. This is a really handy feature too. So if you're proceeding throughout the year and you've got all your different holdings and you decided that, you know, if I was to sell something in order to, try to maximize my gain, or to improve your, so look at the different settings. You can have different settings here. So if I wanted to have minimize gain, maximize gain, first in, first out, you can actually change the strategies there and even go down to a level of holding as opposed to doing it for the entire portfolio. That's a very handy feature because it lets you know. So these are my short-term gains. I've got Apple and I've got 10 open, market price shows me the gain, and it will show me the other Apple here I've got. But I may also have other holdings that are in the longer term. So I've held them past that 12 months. And historical cost here as well. So these reports that all show on this tax overview page are also available on the left-hand side at the same time. So some of the other updates that we've done is that we've fixed the speed and the ability for Navexa to handle large portfolios with, numerous multiple trades and a lot of data that's inside it. So users with big portfolios with many trades will find that it shouldn't be much faster. It was already very quick. However, it's even faster on top of that. Talking about the importing, the AI importer, it'll be something where you can actually just have your trades. Maybe you've got a CSV file from the broker. Maybe you've got the CSV file that you've created yourself or an Excel file. You can come in, simply drag it to the upload file area, and it will determine who the broker is and actually go through and do it all for you. So it's going to be much easier going forward. One of the other big pieces of news is our mobile phone, mobile app updates. And we've done a complete refresh, complete design where it matches what's actually in the web platform. So that's in a internal beta testing stage. So a lot of us are trying to find bugs and iron them out before we release it to other testers to have a look at. But essentially what it means is that at the moment, you'll be able to do everything that you do in the web platform on the mobile app, which, even compared to competitors, is something that they're nowhere near. So there will eventually be this ability to have the power of the entire platform on the mobile phone. So you can actually, go through and, add different investments, update, keep information accurate, and even look at doing different tax type related queries and talking to the Navexa AI, which again, AI is another thing that we're working on. We're looking at developing certain ways that you'll be able to communicate with the platform through the AI and have it actually automatically correct things for you, or even be a lot more proactive and tell you that there's something that doesn't look right and you need to investigate it. So all that's happening behind the scenes. Definitely check out the Help Center, and remember you can always, from inside the platform, go up to Help and Support and either search the Help Center. You can also give feedback as well, and we do read all the feedback. We don't just let it go to the website. We actually get messages where it does ping us and we can read it and say, okay, we need to be on top of that one too. You've also got the chat down the bottom right, and you can actually hop on here and talk to Finn, who's our AI customer service person. What they'll do is they'll use all their knowledge that we've given it based on the Help Center and try and give you the best answer it can. It'll also allow you to start numerous conversations in case you do reach a dead end, and you need that one escalated to a human to review. Whilst that's happening, you can actually go and start other conversations and get help for other things. And that's really good if you've got questions about the platform, how it works, how best to do something. It's not perfect, it's not human, but the thing is that it's going to save you a lot of time instead of having to wait for one of us to get back to you. And our customer service response times have improved dramatically ever since I've started, and that's just because we've got much more ability now, more resources to help the important parts of the business, and that's you, our clients. So join me again next month and we'll go through the next updates. But in the meantime, definitely reach out, let us know if you've got any questions, need help with something, and how we can improve it and make it better. Until then, happy investing.